So we finally have our smaller All-American pressure canner. This is the one that we normally use for larger jobs. This will hold quite a number of quarts. This pressure canner will hold 8 pints. That should be enough for the amount of stock that I have in this pot. It's right over here. I'm getting it hot so that I can put it in jars and pressure can it right away. In the meantime, I'm going to put the big canner away and start getting ready to can using our new pressure canner. It's less than half the volume of this big pressure canner, which is a big deal because you have to get the atmosphere in the pressure canner super saturated with steam. And it just takes time for the steam to boil up out of the bottom of the canner and push the air out. And that's why you have to wait for 10 minutes once you start having a steady stream of steam come out the top. This should heat up a lot faster, which means it's less energy, less time, kind of less hassle too. Well, I'm going to start putting stuff away.
Okay, well I just wiped the rim of this.
I drug Irene out of the office. She was busy working on a newsletter that she puts up tonight for her customers on tomorrow. The nice thing about having 2 people working on this is it goes a lot faster.
Yeah, I mean I mean I've done tons of canning by myself and so has Henry, but it's just so much easier if you have an extra pair of hands and eyeballs.
Is that enough?
A little short. That's okay. It'll be fine.
Now this canner is less than half the volume of the big All-American that we normally use. And the reason why we wanted the smaller canner is because it's smaller.
Yeah, we don't always have, I mean there's only 2 of us, so we're not always doing monumental projects. I mean sometimes we do simply because if we've been able to get a really great deal on something or something, it makes sense. And we want to process everything at once. But there's other times when you have a much smaller quantity and to wait, you know, forever, it seems like, to get your canner going when you really don't need that much space. You know, you have 2 or 3 cans in this gigantic canner.
We've already had a large meal that's based on this chicken stock.
Plus a gazillion things of chicken, various cooked their various ways, and stuff freeze-dried from it too. Now when you see me wipe this, I'm wiping it with a little bit of white vinegar. What that does is it cuts the grease. It also makes sure there's no particulate matter. But that combination is something that can keep the jars from sealing correctly. It's so shiny and new, it's hysterical.
That's because it is shiny and new.
Yeah, I know.
We ordered this new pressure canner at Lehman's when we were there. The plan had been to actually pick one up.
Right.
But they were out of stock.
Right.
So we paid for it, and then we waited, and we waited, and we waited for it to come. But it finally came.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were to the point where we were getting impatient, and I told him, I said, give him a call. And when he called, they had literally just come in. So we had them like the next week. But if you buy something like that there and they don't have them in stock, I forget what the break on the money thing is, but they give you free shipping because they look at it as being not our fault. It was their fault that they ran out.
We were there and we were ready to pick it up.
Yeah, yeah.
So they shipped it to us for free.
Yeah.
Now, even with the free shipping, we paid more for this pressure canner right here than we did for our large All-American pressure canner by about $80 or $85. So the prices of pressure canners have definitely gone up.
Yeah, everything's gone up. Nothing surprising there.
One of the things you'll notice when Irene is putting those jars into the canner, she's not having to reach so far down in the canner as she does with the other All-American because it's not as deep.
Really? Well, this one you can't double stack pints on. The other one you
Oops.
can.
I got too much in that one.
Yeah, you did. Just a smidge.
Could
Do
you
you have
grab
something
a...
small?
No.
Unprepared, I don't know.
That's
I have
me.
to take away your totem chip card.
That's for cutting things.
I know.
Oops, I just dropped my tongs into the hot water.
Well, they'll be clean.
They'll be clean, but they'll also be hot.
That
Unfortunately.
too.
I'll take them out and let them cool off a little bit. Yeah, a few people have asked me if I'm a chef, and the answer is no. I'm a cook. I think I'm a pretty decent cook, but no, I've never been to chef school. I've never been to a culinary institute or anything else like that. The reason why I wear this, first of all, I get stuff on myself when I'm cooking all the time, and this keeps my good shirts, or even not so good shirts, from getting stained. You may notice there is a stain on this coat because, well, tomatoes happen.
Yeah.
So I need to, I don't know if I'll boil it or just bleach it.
I'll just put some goop on it. We'll get some pre-spot that we can use. It usually takes out that sort of stuff. And if not, we'll put on some oxy stuff. Try not to use bleach too much because bleach really eats the fabrics.
Yeah, in the old days, if you wanted to get these kind of stains out of clothing, the worst ever was baby diapers.
I used to boil baby diapers in Clorox water.
And that was done over a wood stove.
No, we had propane at that place.
Do we have propane at?
Yep. We used the wood stove to heat the kitchen, but I cooked on the propane. Except when I was cooking on the wood stove, split pea soup, which I cooked on the wood stove in the living room because it was free. It came with the heat. I didn't have to spend propane on it.
I don't think we're going to have any left over today, Irene.
Oh, so I recall you already had something else planned for dinner anyway. So
I did.
And that's not my job tonight, so I'm good with that.
Well, Irene cooked for the better part of 45 years, and I like cooking, and I'm home most of the time, so why not?
And I frequently have jobs to do so that are time sensitive. So, all right.
Could you come hold this for me, please, so I can tilt the pot?
Need more hands. You're bonking the stuff pretty hard. Be careful. I'm pushing down on the jar to keep flopping over, but if you hit it hard enough, it'll probably go over. Good.
Well, there's not enough left in here to do a pint, I don't think, but I'll give it a shot.
Worst case, it goes in the fridge. If it does actually do a fridge, I don't know if it'll fit in the canner because I have to not to smush stuff around, but I don't think it'll fit.
Yeah, you can actually fit all 8 of these in, but it's a little tight. Not enough, so it goes in the refrigerator anyway.
Gets used. That's okay. Will not end the world. I probably should add a little bit more water to this. Did you find is there a mark on the inside of this one?
I did not find one.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm going to use the hot water from here. Silly man. It's the advantage to having preheated your jars is you always have hot water hanging around. Okay,
That's plenty far.
Plenty, plenty. Okay.
I've already been warming up the canner, so I don't have to worry about cranking the heat up, which is what I just did. Irene's going to go ahead and put the top on. We'll see how it fits.
Perfect, of course. And make sure it's even.
When you clamp the top down, you use these thumb screws, and it's really important that you tighten opposite sides
Right,
and
you do it
go
the
all the
same
way
way
around.
as if you were putting on a wheel on a car. You put on opposite lug nuts. And if you don't do that, people wonder why they have trouble with their cars. It's because they're silly. This is so shiny, it's hysterical. I know the other one had to have been just as shiny.
I think this one's a little shinier. The other one had a little more matte finish on it.
Yeah, could be.
Either one works great.
Yeah, well, the shininess doesn't matter. What matters is the fit of the rim and things like that. Okay.
Well, now we just have to wait for this thing to heat up so we start producing some steam.
Yep, and I assume there it is.
5, 10, and 15.
Yep, I was just looking at it. Slightly different shape than the last one. Cool.
Okay, you want to say goodbye to everybody because you're going to go back to work?
Yeah, I got to get back to work. I've got a newsletter to finish, and it's getting close. So I'm going to finish it tonight. Still looking for a couple of articles, but yeah.
Well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications because we're going to be doing more stuff. Every time I make a chicken, I'll make chicken stock.
Mm-hmm.
If I do 2 chickens or 2 chickens that are really close together, I'll freeze one carcass, and then I'll use both of them to make a big pot
Big
of
thing
stock.
of stock, yeah.
Because we already used about 1 quart of this stock.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
So it would actually overfill this pressure canner, which is just fine. We always have a need or use for it right away.
Right. And we try and keep as much of our own stock on the shelf as we can because chicken stock's expensive in the grocery store. And we have found a brand that we trust, but still.
Almost $3 for 24 ounces is a pretty high price.
So it's nice to have your own stuff and know exactly what was in it.
Hey, the other reason why I wear this is a relatively heavy fabric.
Yeah.
It has a tight weave. So if you spill water on yourself, well, especially when you're moving hot liquids, it will tend to run off instead of soak in and burn you.
Right.
So you at least have time to get it off.
Yeah, even if it does soak in, it by the time it gets to you, it's cool enough that it's not going to scald you.
And I learned that, probably 55 years ago when I was working as a short order cook.
Yeah, yeah. There's certain things you learn the hard way usually.
Time to say goodbye, Irene.
Yep. Until next time. Bye.
Bye. Keep brainstorming.
We do.
And no, you're going to go work.
Yeah, I was thinking of something else and I forget what it was. Oh, I was going to give you a jar lid. It's a wide mouth, so.
A temporary lid.
A temporary lid.
Yeah, we use these plastic white lids on anything that's left over that we're going to put in the refrigerator. Works great. Really got to go. She's got to get back to work.
Bye.